that time again, friends. So I actually have a couple videos I should be filming before this because they will probably come out before this, but I am reading so many books so quickly, it's terrifying. It's like the beginning of the second week of February, you know? So I thought I'll do this now, and because by the time I go to film this, when I should probably be filming it, I'll have too many and I'll just be talking for half an hour. So I'll try not to do that this time, but so let's get right into it. When I finished my last video of reviews, I was reading The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I love this book. I love it. I didn't know what I'd think about it because to me Matt Haig is like a self-help writer, and I've expressed my love for his self-help writing before, but oh my god, it's fucking brilliant. I was so happy with it. It's basically about a girl who wants to die, and she is given the choice at this stage in between life and death to go back and relive her life in different ways, and it's all in alternate universes, and whichever one she likes the most that makes her actually genuinely happy she can stay in. I'm not going to give the ending away, however, it's so good, and I feel like this idea has actually been like thought of before in different ways, if that makes sense, but I like how he wrote it, and I like the ending. I think the ending couldn't have gone another way, which you'll understand when you read it, but I just really enjoyed it. It was very good and also thoroughly relatable, so I feel like I'd give it 4.5 out of 5. I don't know, I feel like I'm being a bit harsh, but I will. Then this cover of this book, can you see that? Look at that, it's so good, it's stunning. The is The Manning Tree Witches by A.K. Blakemore. This book, okay, this book, I have beef with this book. It was a good book, but I have beef with it. Here's why. It's basically set in 1643, so like the writing is like old, as in written in an old way. It's not actually an old, you know what I mean? The author does it amazingly. Like, I feel like it's very hard to pull off writing in that way because it's not first hand. Like, we do not speak that way anymore, and so it takes a lot of research and a lot of patience and a lot of understanding, and I personally, as someone who writes books, could never do it. So she writes amazingly, and honestly I didn't think it would be my kind of thing. My mum read this before me and she said that I should read it, so I took it off her when she finished. It's basically about a bunch of girls that get called witches and get trialed as witches, and then the ending happens. Here's my thing with this fucking book. The ending was kind of lackluster, okay? It was like something was missing, and it was so built up, and then this thing happened, the trial happens, and then it just kind of falls flat at the end. Is it still worth reading? Yes. It's not one of those books where the ending completely ruins it. It's just a bit like, oh, okay, I kind of wanted more, you know? So, very good, but 4 out of 5 because the ending disappointed me. Then, I love this book. The Art of Living by Thich Nhat Hanh. I'm sorry if I'm not saying his name right. He passed away when I finished this book. And we had this on our bookshelf, and I thought, perfect time to read it, and I'm so glad I did. In fact, considering how mentally ill I'm feeling, I kind of want to go back and reread it. Here's my thing, okay? He's a monk, right? And so like I don't like reading books by people who are very religious because I feel often, it's the same as self-help things, right? It's like the second it comes from not even a professional, but the second it comes from someone with strong opinions, it starts to become very biased or forceful or condescending. And he didn't do that, and he's a monk. Well, he was a monk, and this book is about how to live through everything. It's kind of like giving you the perspective of nothing matters, so just be happy, in a sense, which has always been my kind of moral. It doesn't really work out all the time, but still. And it did help me, and I think when I read it, I really needed it. And oh yeah, he talks about how like being busy kills the human mind, and like we, you know, things that we know, such as there is no good without bad and vice versa. So it's just worth picking up, especially if you're feeling kind of low. This is a very good book for you to pick up. And it really, I don't reread books. I don't like rereading books, but I would what is going on with my voice? I would reread this just because I feel like I was genuinely being taught by someone, right? Like it felt like he was opposite me, telling me these things, and I've never heard his voice ever, but I could hear his voice, right? Like that's how good it was. It was very well written. He talks about manifesting and everything, not in such a spiritual hippy dippy way, but more in a scientific way, I guess, kind of. I don't know, it's one of those you kind of have to pick it up and read, but this is a 5 out of 5. There was nothing wrong with that book. I loved it. Then we have this book, Jesus Christ, The Belgian by Sylvia Plath. Help me. Here's the thing, right? Like, I thought a few chapters in, I was like, this is gonna depress the hell out of me, and I'm gonna regret reading this, and blah blah blah, blah. And I actually got all the way through, and I wasn't that depressed. And I know if you've read it, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? Concerned. Yeah, fair enough, you should be. But here's the thing, right? Like, the way she writes it is not realistic enough for me to be like, oh my god, that's so depressing. It's not like when I read Kurt Cobain's biography and I was literally like bawling my eyes out. I was like, oh my god, this is so depressing. You know, and it is very depressing. It's about a girl who is depressed and she just does a lot of fucked up shit to herself. And to be honest with you, I don't even understand the ending, and I didn't hate it, I just didn't love it, right? Like, I wouldn't say I liked it. There's a good in between somewhere there that I sit at, because a lot of characters were just very dislikable as well. And it's like the men, oh my god, in this fucking book, I wanted to kill them. Like, it was just so, it's a lot. I'm glad I can read books in one day. Like I said in my first review of the year, there were like 2 books I read in one day / 2 days. I had to read this over like 3 days because I was just like, this is gonna be a lot to take in all at once. So I didn't do it. But yeah, I mean, 3.5 out of 5. It's a bit like, where is this going kind of thing, right? I'm gonna have to express some anger, okay? And there may be spoilers in what I'm about to say, in which case, I'm sorry, but you got your warning. I read the second book of the, look how fucking big it is, the Crave series. Here's, oh my god. I love this series so much. I could, like, if I die, bury me with it. Please, bury me with these books, okay? I'm so serious, but my beef with this, the ending of this book is just unreal. It's unreal. So, in the first book, it's about a girl called Grace. Her parents have died. She has to go live with her uncle and cousin who own a boarding school in Alaska, and it's full of supernatural creatures, and she falls in love with a guy called Jackson because they're mates, and mates means they're bonded basically, and you can't get rid of that bond necessarily. In this book, Tracy Wolf, I love you, and I know you've DM'd me, and if you see this, I will not regret a word I'm saying, because I am angry. I am angry. First of all, this book ended on a cliffhanger. I hate cliffhangers, okay? Please don't do that to me. Especially not when I live in the UK and the next few books haven't come out yet until the 3rd of March. Why is that? Okay? Help me. Second of all, okay, I'll be honest with you. Hudson is Jackson's brother. He got sent away like he got killed essentially, but he didn't actually die. And this is kind of a spoiler, but not really, because it's the whole book. He lives in like Grace's head, because when he came back to life, he tried to kill Jackson and Grace stood in the way, and they both somehow kind of went somewhere. Ask me how. I'm not Tracy Wolf. Am I addicted to the series? Absolutely. But here's my thing. I thought I'd hate Hudson. I thought I'd be really angry and I'd hate Hudson, okay? But why am I in love with him as well? Why am I in love with brothers? Why? Because, oh my god, I literally would just be like rooting for them both, right? And then the ending. This is the spoiler, and I'm gonna give it away, and I'm not even sorry. Hudson says that she isn't Jackson's mate, she is his. And here's the thing, this is a very big spoiler, because that's unexplained. So I don't understand how that happens. So that's not really a big, it's the ending, but it's not like a spoiler for what happens in the book. But this is, Jackson and Grace's mating bond got like severed by a cunt called Cole in the book. First of all, that shouldn't be possible. Second of all, if it is, well, it happened. How is she Hudson's mate? I've been trying to do the math behind this for so long, and I cannot understand it, and I'm very mad because I need the next book right now. Even though essentially I know what happens, I saw spoilers, but I have never needed a book so bad in my life. Thank you. That 5 out of 5. Well, I gave it a 4.8 out of 5 because there are some printing issues. I'm not pinning it down to Tracy Wolf, because it's not like she's spelling words incorrectly or anything, and the grammar's fine. But there are some paragraphs that are cut in half, like not at full stops, like there's a word and then it's cut in half and it's indented in the next paragraph. So just like 4.8, just purely because of printing issues. But I don't even know if it deserves to have points taken off, because I am so obsessed with it. It's literally so sad. Finally, I finished this 2 days ago. Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zorna. I hope I'm saying her name right. I didn't know what to expect from this book, and I also didn't know that Michelle was from Japanese Breakfast. Love that. I love that, first of all. But oh my god, this book. It's a memoir about her life, about what happened when her mum died. So that period of her life, essentially. And cried a few times. I won't even lie. I loved it. It was so good. And it's so sad, but it's so real. And Michelle is an amazing writer. And I always say this when it comes to memoirs or autobiographies or biographies or whatever. Very few famous people, whoever it is, oh my god, what is going on with my voice? Whether it's singers, actors, fucking chefs, comedians, it doesn't matter. Most of them don't know how to write, and if they do know how to write, it's not very intriguing or like poetic writing, if you know what I mean. She's got it nailed. She's got it nailed. This is like another TikTok suggestion that didn't let me down. So thank god for that, because I read 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, The Love Hypothesis, You and Me on Vacation, and this one from TikTok, and I have only hated 1 out of 4, right? Okay, so, which was 7 Husbands, by the way. I'm starting a hate train for that fucking stupid. So I'm happy, I'm very impressed. And yeah, I just, please read it. Like, I don't feel like it's dragged out, but I just feel like some people might not like it because it's not like a thrilling, exciting, happy story. It's just very raw and real, but that's what I like. So, you know, it really depends on taste. But I loved it, and even though this isn't the cover I wanted, this is the British cover apparently, I wanted the American one. Brits keep losing here, okay? AKA, I keep losing with these fucking books. But I loved it, and I even like the cover. I did want the other one, but I do like this cover. So yeah, it's just so beautifully well written and very comforting almost. It felt like someone was sitting next to you telling you about their life, you know? And again, I've never heard her voice, but it was like she was talking to me. And when that happens in a book, chef kiss, you know they're a good fucking writer. At the moment, also I'd give that a 5 out of 5, to be honest. I can't find anything wrong with it. But at the moment, I'm reading Spanish Love Deception, which is my 5th TikTok book that's been recommended. So I'm 2 chapters in. I kind of like it so far, a little bit. The main woman is a little bit annoying, but like vibe. I'll see how it goes. I can't judge it yet. Like, I prefer it to the first 2 chapters of People We Meet on Vacation. So I'm gonna see how it goes, and hopefully I'm not let down. But I got it for £4 because it was at my fucking Sainsbury's. I don't know how these things work, but why is it £4 in Sainsbury's and like £9 in Warstones? What is this? And also, like, everything is less money on Amazon. I don't understand how it works. But anyways, and then after that, I have to read The Roommate, which is also one that I saw once on TikTok, but it's not like a TikTok suggestion. But my mum's reading it. She picked it up before me. I didn't even know it existed. And she was like, yeah, this is like more your kind of thing. And she says it's along the lines of things like Spanish Love Deception and stuff like that. Not that she reads that stuff, but she knows what I'm reading. So if you guys enjoyed this video, if you did, please feel free to do whatever you want. I can't be bothered to tell you, and I'm not gonna force you. Anyways, I love you guys very much, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.